attention, please.
I think this is a good idea.
Dreams without goals.
People are getting fed up with corporate America.
I want you to get up, stand up, fight back. Ask what you can do for your country. Don't call it a comeback.
So, all right, good morning, everybody. Another edition of Startup Street Corner Launch Podcast. My man Danny's in the house. Andrew's in the house. Paul's in the house. Brendan behind the camera as usual. We got House of Woodbury in the house.
Sounds
What's
like
up, my man?
fine wine to me. The House
Sounds
of
like a
Woodbury.
fine
Damn
wine.
right. That's coming.
All right, so listen, my man, this is what we're going to do. For everybody that doesn't know what House of Woodbury is, just give them kind of a quick breakdown, and then we'll get into the fun stuff.
Yeah, so House of Woodbury. What's up, people out there? As a matter of fact, let me not be rude.
Are you
know
on
what
live
I mean?
right now, too?
Yeah, I'm on live. I'm trying to do this thing. I'm not really tech. I'm not really tech savvy, but I say, you know what? I'm gonna try. You know what I'm saying? But all right, so House of Woodbury is pretty much a conglomerate of different arts, things that I like to do, as far as like music, fitness, and food. You know, so I put all those into one, keep me out of trouble. And what happened is, there are people out there that have my same interests, you know, maybe not all three of them, but at least one. So, you know, that's what House of Woodbury Arts is.
So you went from BFF to MFF. I love it. That is beautiful. Seriously,
That guy.
That's
That
a new
guy.
trend. I'm just starting the trend for you right now.
Hey, man.
MFF.
Do I get
Music,
paid for that?
fitness, and food. No, I'm just trying to give you a plug.
Yeah, man.
We'll help you get there.
As long as it equates to
So what
capital.
do the people what do the people do? How do they get involved in it? If somebody's like, well, I like one of those three or all three.
Well, look. So the one that has the hot hand right now, because I learned how not to be all over the place. But I think over like
Vital lesson.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think over like the 8 years, you know, I've been putting in a lot of groundwork. So I think it's just like it's manifesting now, but I'm wise enough to say, you know what? I'm gonna just roll with this one because I can see this one through, and I think the rest is gonna follow. So the one I got going on right now is through the music, which I bring a lot of artists into the studio. They probably never even recorded or been to like our studio, executive studios out there in Clearwater. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother James. Shameless plug. I do know how to do that. So yeah, with that, it's an open mic. I created an open mic studio series. So the artists, you know, they come in there, they get a video, they get a music video, they get their live audio recording, they get to be interviewed by Miss Lovely Tony Shantae. That's my host, you know what I'm saying? Another shameless plug. You know, so yeah, it's like a tiny desk. It's like a tiny desk. American Idol, The Voice, Star Search for the old heads. You know what I'm saying?
I checked it out. I checked out the Instagram, and the production's actually really good.
It's getting there, you know.
It is.
I had a bunch of rookies doing it at first, but you know, God is good. So, you know, he was like, hey, keep going. It's going to get better. So now
Just
I got.
don't quit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna quit. Can't stop. I got that Diddy in me.
So it turns out you know Lynn Croson,
Oh.
A Million Cups. She reached out to me. And
About me?
Yeah, because
Get
I
outta
posted
here.
that about the sod thing.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? With us doing the thing, and she was like, House of Woodbury? And I was like, House of Woodbury.
See, I'm not a bad guy. See that?
Right?
See, you looking at me like I was a bad guy.
No,
See
I was
that?
never looking at you
Uh-huh.
like a bad
And she was like, I love him. She goes, and that's a really cool thing that they're doing over there. So you did the Million Cups?
Yeah.
How long
I
ago
did.
was that?
That was 2016.
Gotcha.
What's the Million Cups for
That's a
people
good
like
question.
me that don't?
Go ahead. Give him the breakdown.
Okay, so the Million Cups is like
It's kind of like a pitch
yeah,
meets Shark Tank
Like there you go, Shark Tank
meets
I was
community
gonna say that,
support.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
so it's like a local Shark Tank.
Okay.
You know, except they don't be grilling you like that. It's just a whole bunch of like people that come in, and you may have like angel investors and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't rock with the angel investors. You know what I'm saying? I like to know who my investor is before I come there. But you know, for some people, they don't mind it. So you may have some of those people in the audience, but normally it's just a whole bunch of other entrepreneurs or people want to start up their own company.
Yeah, it's
just
a
there to
phenomenal
support.
platform.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
There's chapters all over the country.
Was it a coffee shop?
It's this one's at the Entrepreneurial Collaborative Center by Hillsborough County over in Ybor, and Startup Street was a sponsor of it for a while, and then with the COVID stuff that came, they kind of tried to go virtual and whatnot. But she's getting it going again. It's pretty cool. So like you've got an idea, you know, and you put together your presentation, and you come in there, and it's a big room and rows of tables, and I'm in there. You know, not a lot, but a decent amount, just hanging out because I like that. I'm just all about it, you know. And you get up there, and you know they usually got 1, 2, or 3 people, and you kind of give them your pitch on what you're trying to do, and you get feedback, and you know people are like, "Hey, well that's great. If you're trying to do that, do you know this person? Because that person could compliment you and all that." I mean, it's just a great.
It is.
It's just a great community resource.
And then the cool thing about it is like they don't just put you up there, you know, where you look like a fool. You actually go through like this process of like they like send us your business plan. Most people don't even have a business plan.
No.
I know I did it. I was like, business plan, and I like all I remember was like a thesis. Like that sounded like a thesis. I failed all of my damn
Putting
thesis.
together a history paper.
I failed all of that. So I was like, damn. I said, yeah, that won't be me. But then you have some amazing advisors over there. They they're like, hey, come in, let us break down what it is that you're doing. And you get up on this nice big old whiteboard and you get your ideas out.
Yep.
And it's just the persistence. So that actually helped me, to start putting money in my pockets and showing me like, damn, you was cheating yourself, man.
Yep.
Like you should be making this
a
much.
lot of clarity happens when you start taking stuff out of your head and actually putting it to paper.
Writing it down, yeah.
You know,
big time.
it's amazing how much you're not considering before you do that.
Yeah.
And then when you got other people looking at it too, they can poke the holes in it and shit, And I was just going through this the other day where we were trying to put together this business plan with another project, and and it was, the vibe was kind of like, man, we're getting like way into the weeds on this stuff, blah blah. I'm like, listen, that's what you got to do.
And you said something key off the line too. Before we aired, you said pretty much your follow through is like impeccable. Like nobody can touch. That's something I learned. I said, damn, my follow up sucks. Like
it sucks with most people.
Yeah, it sucks. So I was like, hell no.
No,
Yeah.
I have a saying, which is I follow up until I get a restraining order. Okay?
Yeah.
Straight up. And the reason most people don't
That's
want to
what's
follow
up,
up
yeah.
a lot is because they're afraid that they're almost
Rejection.
badgering people too, right?
Yep.
They don't want to get rejected, but they don't want to come off as annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it really comes in, where like if you really understand that what it is you're trying to do can change shit for people, you almost can look at it as like, listen, I have got to follow up.
Yeah.
Until I get this person on board, because I see what they're doing and I know this is going to help.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get your mind to that level, the whole am I bothering this person and badgering, it's gone.
It separates.
Because you
everything,
just keep going until you just get a hard no.
Yeah.
Or not right now, maybe in 6 months, and then you just
Right.
make your notes accordingly.
Yeah.
6 months from now, that little reminder pops up, and you're like, "Yay, what's
I'm
up?"
with
You just lost the
that desire to do it, and just you gotta want it more than anything.
Yeah, for sure, you do.
Danny, did you just break the mic? There you go. You
So
can
what-
go. Danny gets to hold his mic for the rest of
While
the
Danny's
day.
fixing his equipment, I want to ask a little bit about the fitness and food aspect, because being a guy that likes to go to the gym for a couple hours every day for 5-6 days a week, I believe I'm in better shape than I look. Believe me, I lost 100 pounds about 3 years ago. Yeah,
Wow.
I could show you some pictures, but I left my phone over there to charge by Danny. So
You want me to get it for you?
Yeah. If you want to grab the grab
No.
the phone.
No. We did the phone thing on the podcast one time. It didn't work out well.
So
Keep it going.
So the fitness and food aspects go hand in hand. So what? How do you approach that? What do you post on there? Do you post your workout routines? Do you post dietary tricks and tips, dishes? What do you got?
So look, I just like recently dove into the whole social media thing, and one because the gym that I'm partnering, partnership with my brother. It's called The Bar Fit off of Del Mabry and Fletcher. We just opened in December. So the few classes that I do, because I'm retired from doing that whole fitness thing. unless it's athletes.
Okay.
Unless it's athletes, you know what I mean? Because that could be, it could be a bit much. But they were so like accepting and just like wanting to learn. Like it reminded me of like being around a whole bunch of athletes. Like, hey, how do I get faster? I get stronger and stuff like that. So it kind of took me back and humbled me. Like, yo, fitness is in a whole different world now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with that, I got on social media. And now I'm able to connect with them. But for me, it's the same principles. It's like, look, you look good, you feel good, you look good, right? So if you want both of those things, you have to apply all three. You have to apply your cardio, your strength and conditioning, and of course your nutrition plan, right? And that's probably why you were able to drop like 100 pounds because of you're conscious of what works for me, the food. So what I do is I'm like, look, this is what works for me. I stay away from the no-nos, like preservative foods and all that stuff, processed. I'm like, dude, and I ain't tripping about the Impossible Burger, none of that, but I got to see mine's made from scratch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that helps me a lot. I see a bunch of my friends that, they kind of putting on some daddy weight, and I'm like, damn. So I look at myself, I'm like, man, I'm blessed.
Is that like the dad bod thing?
No, that's like the Mickey's drive-through thing. What size shake do you want, sir?
I'm starting to fall into that trap as the years go on.
Dude, man. So I mean, like the food, like, okay, so the business that I had started under House of Woodbury is called Late Night Munchies. And, of course, right now, I'm like, hey, I got enough money I could put up. I could do it myself. But I'm like, man, it'd be cool to have, like, 2 or 3, like, shareholders, that see the vision, be like, oh, this
Are
is
these
it.
angel investor shareholders?
Nah, these are guys that I know personally. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping. But, sometimes people are, like, timid. They be like, oh, man, what if this? Because it's nothing out there what I'm about to do, right? Actually, I'm supposed to be meeting with Mayor Castro about that. So that's going to be dope. So with that, what I do, because it's burgers, it doesn't really go with, what I'm saying, like the fitness where you'd be like, oh, yeah, can I eat a burger? And I'd be like, I can eat a burger.
But is it a healthy burger?
If you take the bun off of it, if you're following a low-carb diet,
yeah.
But you got to eat quinoa. You can't be eating brown rice. You can't be eating a lot of pasta. You got to eat your vegetables. You got to eat the good oxidizing vegetables like the broccoli. Like yesterday, I just grabbed a bag of frozen broccoli that I get from Walmart for $1. That's good stuff, good enough. You put it in the microwave 5 minutes later, it's like steamed broccoli, and just eat it plain.
See, you better than me. See, me.
I've got to be, though, because I was 360 pounds.
And you found
out,
stuff
is still really difficult to get. I've been working out hard for about
Make sure
3
you're
years.
talking to the mic there.
Thank you. I've been working hard for about 3 years. Again, I don't look as good a shape
3
as
years.
I'm in right now. So
no, bro, you look good. I mean, see, it's the consistency, right? The consistency of doing it time and time and time. You have to become obsessed, especially like with fitness or just life. If you want to have a healthy life, you just have to be like obsessed with like, this is where I see myself when I'm 50, when I'm 60, when I'm 70. You know what I'm saying? What does it take to get to that point? If you can adopt that at a young age, then your health life, longevity, it's going to be a cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? You can really enjoy life. And then it's going to show in your businesses and just, friendships and stuff like that. Like, I believe I have a huge, like, effect on my surroundings because, like, you could put a whole bunch of, like, badass, like, women in front of me, and they could be butt naked. I'll just sit there and be like, man, she look beautiful too. She look beautiful too. I ain't gonna touch him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna touch him. I'm not tempted. I think it comes from me being obsessed with how I see myself trending as far as like with my fitness and the food that I put in my body. Like sometimes I go on like these streaks of like fasting where I don't, I mean, the last time I went on the fast, it was like 3 days and it was just nothing but water and just like straight prayer and stuff like that, just really reconnecting with myself. So it puts everything into perspective of like, if it's food, I'm not gonna be like easily like tempted. I don't eat pork, of course. I stay away from you know, a lot of stuff, not because of religious purpose. You know, it's just, I don't like to be boxed in. I just try to, all right, what do you want me to do, God? Okay, I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I should slap this person, but that ain't God. You feel what I'm saying? So I need to know the I need to know the difference. You feel what I'm saying? Because I could get off the chain, but I do those things to be disciplined.
So with the studio out there, right?
Yeah.
With the stuff that you're doing, how long have you been working in the studio for?
Man, probably a decade,
It's at least a
man.
handful. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
a decade, yeah.
explain when you first started doing that and where you're at now, okay?
Yes. So
What have you learned along the way?
I learned how to save money. I learned how to
That
save money.
he can have naked women in front of him. He doesn't have an urge to touch them. It's amazing.
Yeah, I learned.
Don't try that on me. That's all I can tell
How
you.
much does that studio equipment cost to get the good studio equipment to really make a quality production?
Yeah, over the course of the years, I believe it's like over $100,000. But of course, that's not my money. You know, and you learn how to save money. You learn how to make money. You learn how to work with people. It's really, like I said, it's like really about the integrity, and it's about where you see yourself trending to, and then you just try to keep that, and
Just keep going.
yeah, you
Don't
just
quit.
like remind yourself, like every day you reset. Every day, okay, yeah, that was a big sale right there. All right, what's next? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I get it, I love it, but it's like, all right, what's next? It's got to be something else that I could be doing versus just sitting there stagnant. And I think a lot of people they underestimate like that about me. Like I sit there and I'd be like, I really analyze and I'd be like, I know I could do better than that because I did it in sports. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody to tell me like you suck. I think people are afraid to tell. They're afraid to tell me no or something. I'm like, dude, it's okay to say like no.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
This
like,
is fucked up. We need to fix this.
yeah,
Yeah.
you feel me? So, you know, the studio equipment, of course, is expensive, but there are people that invest like millions of dollars into the equipment. That's where I would like to be at one day. And far as like what I've learned, like I said, how to make money, you know, how to save money, but also how to continue like to have like great relationships and like outside of music, because, you know, there are contentious people. Like they like what you do, and they're gonna be there for the party, but they ain't go when you need their ass. They ain't nowhere to be found. You could be on your deathbed, they don't give a damn. They're like, oh man, I heard that on, I seen on Instagram. Like it's all good. So you learn how to forgive them.
Right.
And you just learn how to, kill them with success.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
And
you know
just
what
keep
I'm saying?
going.
Yeah.
I have 5,000 Facebook friends. I'm surprised nobody's here.
Not even
Listen,
they didn't even drop
listen.
a note to say that they couldn't make it. They were sorry.
The reality is, if you have this amount of friends on one hand, and they're really good friends,
All you need.
you're doing unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
That's Plato right there, between 2 and 4 good friends.
And you want to know something else?
Sure.
When you finally get to an age, because I'm older than all you guys, I'm sure.
How old are you?
When you finally get to an age, when you realize and you understand the concept of people come in and out of your life, and they come for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, it's okay. When you don't take it personally, you realize they're either supposed to be in your life or they're not supposed to be in your life. It's just the way it is. So people will come in, and the good ones that you have the bond with, that you'd be there for them at 4 a.m, or they'd be there for you at 4 a.m, or if you need something done, you could just pick up the phone and they'd be there. Those are your real friends.
Yeah.
So, like,
reason,
For sure.
a season, or a lifetime?
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I heard that like 2
Yeah.
days ago.
And the other thing too is, with all the COVID thing, I think it opened a whole lot of people's eyes about really who their true friends are. What it's people are stepping back. What do I really want out of my life? You know, all those people that moved out of New York and moved out of LA, they didn't move out of there just because of the COVID. They moved out of there because they woke up one day and they thought, well, fuck, I'm in this apartment. I'm paying $4,000 a month for a studio. All I do is work to pay to live. Why do I want to do this anymore?
If you're
Why
not
don't I want-
wealthy living in New York City, you're a
Right.
chump. You're
Why
paying
don't-
for parking at your
Why
house.
don't I want to go to a place where I can get some nature, some sun, be out in a really cool place and enjoy my life instead of this rat race and hellhole?
Facts.
Because this shit doesn't matter.
Facts.
And I think that's really cool. It's really, really helped a lot. But I have a question. the place in Ybor where you guys go. Now you go in and you do the business plan and all that. Is it like a business networking meeting, number one? And number two, do people actually fund you from this meeting? Is there a group of investors that
They
come
can.
to look at plans, or
They can.
what's the
So
bottom?
there's usually a handful of people there, you know what I mean, that are potentially looking for things and stuff like that. But it's really more about getting your pitch down.
Yeah.
Being able to succinctly explain what it is you're trying to do in front of a group of people, and then being able to answer the questions from, 10, 15, 20 people that are there to poke holes in it and ask you, well, have you thought about this, or have you thought about that? And, and like watching some people up there just squirming is, kind of brutal sometimes, but because you've always got some people in the audience there that are just simply there to show how, how smart I am.
Yeah.
Those people kind of, it's like, leave this poor freaking guy alone.
Somebody tried to poke at me.
Did they?
Yeah, it was this lady. She was in the front row, and but I was prepared. I was more prepared than I thought I was, because I wasn't even thinking about the questions what I was going to be asked. So when she asked me, I was like, oh yeah. I said, well, let me go back to this slide and present it one more time for the young lady right here. So I showed her because it was in the slide. I already had talked about it.
Oh, she had a slideshow. You had a whole presentation.
Yeah, I had a whole
Very
presentation. So I was ready, right? And but if you ask what you call it, Leah, she'll tell you like that was like the best presentation they have. I think still to this day, the best presentation. I'm like, I wasn't really going for that. I was just trying to, get the ideal out there and see what it was like.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. We should go over there once they get. I think the lives start back up in June.
Was growing up and we were doing entrepreneurship, and you started entrepreneurship, you had to pick up the phone, call people. Okay, now
word of mouth.
You can make it or break it in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
You can get on and you can just do like that guy did up there and just put a microphone with feathers on it, whatever you want, and just start talking. And you know something may come out of your mouth that just
boom.
Just an audience, they want to be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just keep talking.
Just keep
But I
talking.
will say,
And the best part is
do
with
simple, just think outside the box ideas and get people today, especially young people, they want to be a part of your story. They want to be, if your story's cool, they want to be a part of it. Before it wasn't like that. Now everybody, if you got a really cool thing you're doing and you have a great story, and I'll bring back the thing with the kids that started mailing eggplant all over the country and putting messages on the eggplant. Now they're millionaires.
have you heard of this?
It's unbelievable.
It's hysterical.
No.
You can mail somebody an eggplant. And the guys that mail it will write whatever message you want on there.
Yeah.
So
there's
do
all
they
sorts of
etch it
shit.
in there?
So
Or?
no,
they
it's
just
just a
do it like
special marker, like a
with
gray marker.
One of the chalk
light gray
markers.
marker.
Wow.
So you could just mail somebody an eggplant. It's like,
And I think it
hey,
started
Paul,
out.
go fuck yourself.
I think it started. I think
I get it. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
I think it started out as kind of a mean thing. It was
Yeah.
a way to break up with somebody or do shit like that. But then people started sending messages of love and get better and all this. Now that these guys have made millions of dollars, and I mean, if you're an eggplant farmer, you're like, oh.
I will say though, on the other side of what you're saying, the fact that can happen and does happen to a very select few, is leading a lot of people to not want to put in the work, the infrastructure work.
Because they're going to make money off of stupidity,
The building,
not quality.
yes, the building blocks work.
No,
You know what I mean?
but hang
because
on.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Because
All right.
everybody sees those select things and starts chasing it.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
know?
what. That's not what I meant by that.
And you dilute
I know
the
it's not. I'm
overall
just saying
quality
it's the
of the
other
products
But
that
let
are
me
being put
let me
out
tell
there.
you what I meant by that. Okay, you got all these people now that are buying all these pallets from Costco. They're buying pallets from Amazon. They're buying all the shit that they want to get rid of. So they buy it by the pallet. One guy's buying all these truckloads, and then he's sending all these pallets to these people, like little people that want little businesses. Well, some were taking it to flea markets, some opened up at their house, and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, okay? And they were doing okay. But the ones that are really making the money are the ones that get on Instagram, and they film all the shit that they have and what's going on, and they make it an event, and people can feel and be a part of that event. So that's what I meant by that. I
Yeah,
meant by
using
getting out
telecommunications to
and
make
using
things
it
better.
as a thing where you can really create an audience quickly. Okay, and the other thing, one guy was so smart that he told people, we open at 9 o'clock, but if you come from 6 to 9, we'll let you do preferred shopping, like we'll let you in before anyone else. It's a limited basis, and we'll let you pick through every. So they're going in to get all the good shit. So that creates a frenzy. He lets 100 people in between 6 and 9 to shop preferred shopping at $25 a piece. So he took $2,500 in the door before you even opened to the public, and these people probably are grabbing most of the good products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
He
just
created
just-
scarcity.
So
Yeah,
that's
like the
you know,
Pokemon cards
that's
over
what
at Walmart. Did you see that shit where the
No.
people that Walmart opened up at 7 o'clock? I was somewhere out in the Midwest, and this guy is filming it on his camera as 30 people run to the little tiny card section in the middle of Walmart. I'm going to break the fourth wall here, and there's people just picking through this small box of Pokemon cards to see which ones they
Hey,
can
they're
get their
buying
grubbies
basketball.
on.
They're
It's
buying
crazy.
NFL. They had a fist fight at Target the other day over cards because they're $50 for the box. They sell them to a re-wholesaler for $250,
Yeah.
and online they're almost $500
Got a,
for one box. It's crazy.
It's like what they're doing with PlayStation 5s and Xboxes. They got these people with their little computer formulas set up so that they can buy it as soon as it comes online in 3 seconds, and then they sell it for $1,200, which should be going out for $5.
Well, now they have bots for those things because, if they get more expensive as they go along, but it's the same thing with like sneakers, like clothing drops, all
Right.
that stuff.
It's
and
just
it's
freaking
like
disgusting.
$5,000 for a bot, but guess what? If you're getting Supreme shirts for $100 and selling them for $350, $400, you're making your money back like
So
that.
the bots
Yeah.
are taking over that sector too.
Yeah, like
Wonderful.
But that's not even entrepreneurship. That's just
Wonderful.
pollution.
Well, whoever
and
built the bot, I
basically
guess it
stealing
was.
from
Yeah,
people.
whoever built the bot's
making money
collecting
off of other
tickets.
people's
Yeah.
efforts.
So what I
Yeah.
meant by the effort or what I meant by that is like in the beginning, Marketplace used to be great. I used to get calls and people would come buy shit and everything else. Now, I get 7 calls. I had mattress covers, $33 online. I was selling them for $10. I had all these people. Oh yeah, I'll take 3. I'll take that. I sold like 20 of them. Not one of those people showed up. Not one of them came to actually
Yeah.
pick them up. So
Yeah.
it's like really in the beginning, people would come, they pick stuff up.
People won't leave
but
their
what-
homes. They
no.
become so
No,
incredibly
but
that's
lazy
when we
and
need the
unproductive.
cameras
They won't even leave
following
their
you.
homes.
But
It's great.
Crickets.
so you can zip.
This is people.
So you can
21st
zip the
century.
fucking mattress cover up when I get inside it.
Right,
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's
exactly.
good.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
But
That's when we need.
but anyway,
Dude, that's when we need the cameras
Yeah,
following
okay,
you.
yeah.
You know,
No,
what?
but
You
what-
just see the time ticking by, and he's like, oh.
Oh wow.
but what I'm saying, okay, if you create content and you even if you're just having fun and you're just showing people what you're doing, it's a big difference from putting a picture up with a price on it.
And I love
Right.
that.
You know,
But I
because
love
people.
Jeremy's message too, to be responsible about it and not pollute the environment with bullshit, because that's what destroys entrepreneurship.
Oh,
Put
Jesus.
positive message out.
You
there.
Yeah.
might, you
Put
might,
out things
it's
that are
important.
creative, because
might
we
have
have
to
enough
close
shit
down.
merchants out there, right?
Yeah.
But so I like both of these messages.
Yeah.
I found the middle ground. It's right over
And
there.
there's
at the
a thing
whiteboard.
going on right now too with social media where there's so many people that are like, oh well, you've got to share your failures and be transparent and all that, and it's like a little bit maybe,
Yeah.
but nobody wants to hear all your crap all the time.
oh,
Yeah.
oh,
You
like,
know, like I
They-
freaking.
oh,
They
like
want to
the-
hear how
Not-
you took that crap and you turned it around and you
Right,
learned from it,
exactly.
and here's the
You
success
know?
that
My
followed.
God, the people
Yeah.
that just get on there and just fucking vent,
Brutal.
and bitch,
Yeah.
and poor me,
Losers.
Nobody
I mean,
cares.
God, it's just like
Angry face.
no way. Yes,
my lips
angry
moving.
face.
I ain't
oh my
doing that.
God!
Jeremy.
if you watch those,
Nobody cares. Work
if you
harder.
watch
Right. Nobody gives
That
a
is-
fuck.
Hey, if
For real.
if you watch those First Amendment videos, if I was a cop, I'd probably be in jail right now because those people are so irritating how they do that shit. No, I can film here and I can do this and do that. What's your badge number? I don't answer any questions. I mean, it's just become a thing where they're just tormenting
Oh, you mean with the
people
social
and,
media
and
stuff?
law enforcement. Oh my God! It's
Well, they're
incredible.
tormenting everybody.
everybody.
I mean, now you know what the number one app is on the App Store right now? I think it still is. It's an app called Paparazzi.
Oh.
And have you heard of this?
I have.
Okay, so check this out. This app is not about you. This app is about you going out into public and taking pictures, and they've synced with facial recognition, and it goes to your profile then, which is already created for you.
Damn.
What is that?
That's scary, though.
Isn't
And that's
it?
the number one app.
And that's the
sheep
number one app.
are filling up
You know
the
what I
sheep
mean?
and the goats are
Like,
going in and they're
That's the
munching
thing,
on this
man.
grass.
You know?
Oh.
So, like, it's pretty crazy with the way it's all going,
I
but,
guess we should all get burkas.
like, honestly,
Is that what they're called?
if I was on
The face
that,
coverings.
I would take a picture of you right now because I'm really digging you holding the mic during this.
And the facial recognition technology kicks in.
This
and the
is-
next time
I love
Danny
this.
is out in
This-
public.
This, you need to do this every time.
This is
bro.
not my dominant hand. I just want to tell you. Okay? I want to share that with you.
The other
all
one
right?
above the table.
Okay? So the mic might not be as steady as it should be. Because this is not my dominant. There's a
The
weakness
lefty
in
is
this
getting
hand.
loosey.
Yeah, left hand.
No, you don't do me like that.
Wow.
So what are you trying to do with House of Woodbury going forward? And then we'll let you get out of here in a few
Oh,
minutes.
man.
Wait, we don't want him to leave. He's got shit to plant. You said it was a work day when he came over.
Wait.
No, so just so everybody knows.
We don't want to get your white
Yeah.
sweatshirt dirty. I got t-shirts.
I'm
from
actually
Chicago.
I'm going to dive into this because I got to tell you this made my day, and then I'm going to tell you what happened the following night. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm outside, and I don't know if you know this story, Paul, or whatnot, but I'm outside and I'm getting ready to do the sod. Stops by, hey, what's up? I'm like, nothing, and I'm just out there, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I got to get this shit done. The sun's going down, you know. If you don't mind me using my shovel, we can just kick it. And we must have talked for 45 minutes about shit. And then I had to all the soil was turned over finally, right? And shoveling it and turning it over. And then I got to get the sod on there. And he's like, you know, I've never done this before. Let me try this.
Yeah.
And I was like, you sure? And he's like, yeah. Freaking helped me lay all that sod out there, man.
Yeah, you told me
You
the
know?
story over at Froggy's. This is a beautiful story.
Yeah,
I was
no.
looking fly too. I had on my best outfit
Yeah,
too.
no, and yeah.
White shoes.
And I was
everything.
just like, wow. I go, what a great experience, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I just met somebody that is out there trying to do stuff. Didn't mind giving me a hand. Now you're on the podcast with us.
Yeah.
You see where those things go. The following night, I'm out there. Remember how we had a little bit in the corner I still had to do?
Yeah.
I'm doing a little bit in the corner. Dude walks up. Again, right? Again.
Wasn't me.
And
this
no,
time,
it wasn't
guys.
you this time.
Not in disguise.
He walks up again, then another guy, and he's like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, are you the guy that runs the company here? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And I've got like my work clothes on. I look like shit, you know.
Yeah.
And told him that, and he's like, no, that's fine. And I was like, well, you know, what can I help you with? And he goes, well, how often do you run into startups that need like a little bit of cash, you know, in order to kind of get going type thing? I was like, probably, you know. He's like, I don't want any shitty ideas. I go, well, you know, I run into some of those, but most of them are pretty decent. And guy's just looking for some things to invest in.
Damn.
Built a shit ton of houses around the area. He's like, I'm just trading online right now. He goes, but I need some more purpose in my life. You know, he's like, so if you run into a couple of things and maybe they need like 50, 75K, take my number and get back to me, right? So I'm like, what's up with the sod? Why?
It's
Why?
proof that man was meant to till the earth.
Right.
it's
you know
At
what I
least
mean?
part-time.
It's
you
about
go.
the new series you're going to be
There you
doing.
go.
The Fruits of Our Labor.
Yes.
Starring Jeremy Griffin.
But it's kind of like, you know,
Wow.
when we were just saying, like, you got to get out there and do shit. You know what I mean? That is an example of, like, literally just being out there and doing shit.
Wow.
And people, because I'm always in here. Nobody sees me out there a lot.
So
you
why
know
don't
what
we
I mean?
call him live and have him come down and write a check to Mr. Woodbridge right here?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We'll do
I
it
decree
live on the
that.
podcast.
Yeah, we should do that.
We don't
we
need.
got the first
we don't-
opportunity.
We
Where
don't
are
need.
ya?
Yeah, we don't need
do it.
75. We'll start with 15.
For real.
no,
I
I
don't
And
mean,
then,
that
and
was-
then we can do a PBS telethon while we're at it. We could just get the
Wow.
phones going here. Public broadcasting. How much will you be donating today?
That's actually not a bad idea.
That's it.
And we could link it with a
Thank you for
GoFundMe,
choosing
too.
Startup
Wow.
Street, home to small businesses throughout Tampa. How much
Wow.
would you like to contribute today?
That would kind of be like, you know, the Barstool Fund
Yeah.
that Homeboy at Barstool Sports did to help small businesses and shit. That
Yeah.
thing absolutely took
Dude,
off.
that would
He
blow
raised over
Startup
50
Street
million.
for
No, it's
Corner
nuts.
No, you should listen to him,
Yeah.
Yes.
and you should listen to him too, because
I tell
like
him
what
that
you
all the
said,
time.
You, if you would have never been outside, I probably wouldn't have seen you
Right.
You know, I knocked on the door, but he came out. He
Yeah.
was already there, ready to work.
You were walking down the
So,
street
you know-
going,
you know what-
this poor prick doesn't even know how to turn soil level. Let me go over and talk to him.
He's not lying, okay? He's not lying.
This guy doesn't even know how to hold a shovel
Yeah.
properly.
Right,
You gotta
but
raise your arm
Did you
up
get any
6
worms?
inches.
Because we're going fishing.
Yeah, we were talking about how to get some attention for a shit, you know, and I was like, why don't we do the improv thing on the bus? Do you remember that time when we just hopped
Oh,
on the
that
bus
was
and
funny
started
as hell.
filming?
I brought all sorts
He-
of shit. I was selling shit on the bus to these little old ladies.
The bus
told
is
them,
where it's
wait,
at.
wait till you see our show. I had the bus driver involved. That was hysterical.
So when we were talking about that, you know, I was thinking, I was like, God, we should really just do a podcast because I got all the wireless remote mics.
Yeah.
We should just do one on the bus.
No, we should just do a podcast where we make a difference in other people's lives.
Right.
With incredible ideas, but doing it in a natural, not just to showcase one business, but talk about just how people can better their lives,
Yeah.
whether it be spiritually,
With love, yeah,
physically, food, business ideas, how to make money
You're
easily.
better at that stuff than I am.
No, you're not.
Clean car.
We could be good.
Supported by a generous contribution from viewers like you.
Look,
That's what I'm,
But
I
look-
like that idea.
but that is true.
Jeremy Griffin saw the light.
that is true what my man is saying, because see, I do a lot of stuff like in the dark, like behind the scenes. Like, I'll share one with you guys. I think this is why I continue to be blessed in my latter years. So I had this vision actually came from it's a young lady. She had 3 pillows in her house for the whole entire COVID.
This is not a Mike Lindell story, is it?
No,
right, I'm just checking.
Nope. She had three pillows. They were brand new. She had 2-bedroom apartment, stand by herself. She said, "Hey, I just want to get rid of some stuff." And the last thing we got rid of was pillows. She like, "Where can I give it to?" I said, "You know what? That's a good question." So what came to my mind was down on Florida Avenue. And I said, you know what? I said, let's just ride down here. And everybody know Florida Avenue with the Salvation Army near downtown. And I said, we'll just give it out to some people that need it, right? So when we pulled up, of course, she was a little timid. And I said, look, just come with a cheerful spirit. Give it to them and go. So that's what we did. 5 seconds was out. 3 pillow. Boom. So as I'm riding back, I was like, damn, that felt good. I said, I wish I could give more. I said, okay, what shall I give, God? He said, pillows. I said, pillows? I said, pillows? And I sat there, I'm like, pillows? Not food. You're like, pillows. So then, before I closed my eyes to go to sleep, I had a vision. It was Matthew 11, 28 through 30. And I was like, wait, that scripture, it sounds familiar. So I got it in my phone, I looked it up. And scripture says, come into me, all you that are like laboring, are heavy burden, and I will give you rest. I will heal you. And I challenge people like at my gym. I say you should ride down into poverty, and when you riding down there, like where you see these people are homeless, I said it's not necessarily they're just hungry or thirsty. I said they're uncomfortable. Like, you ever try laying on the concrete with your head on the concrete?
Passed
it's
out
hot
on
or
the
cold?
concrete a few times.
Yeah, when you was drunk, right?
Yeah.
You don't feel it. But these people feel
I
it
miss
every
it
day.
in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning. So,
A
yeah.
well-earned neck ache
Yeah.
and mugshot.
So what I did. So this what happened. Like, I end up writing that verse, that scripture actually on the pillows, and I just hand them out. I hand them out every other Tuesday.
That's awesome.
Nobody knows. I don't care.
When you do things
just
like
doing
that,
it.
no one's supposed to
I don't
know.
want nobody to know. Yeah,
Right.
but I want to share that with
and
y'all.
I-
If
and
you're
gotta-
curious, you can look it up.
Here's
And it'll get people reading the Bible.
Here's a fascinating thing that I find is that we live in a country supposedly has so much money, and all these billionaires want to give away all their wealth, but they want to give it all away to foreign countries.
Right.
Why don't we have a place where we at least build showers for homeless people,
Showers,
clean
yeah.
clothes, where they can
Homes.
go and shower if they're out in the streets, and take all these tents and put them someplace and find build them some place where they can come.
I'm
And
down
if they
with that.
stay sober, and if they get help to stay sober and drug-free, they're invited into there. There's a guy that
Facts.
built a whole entire community. I forget where it was. And he built the whole community of a town where you can go live in the town, homeless, and they make soaps and they create their own little businesses. And these are drug addicts and people that were so far down the rabbit hole they couldn't even get out. And now they're out and they're absolutely thriving. Because you know something? When you care about people, especially kids and stuff like that, when you show that you just care about them and you love them, the transition is just amazing what happens to them.
That's true.
You know? Like one of my good friends is a judge. And his brother's a judge. He goes around the country and he talks to all these judges, and all he tells them is, listen, I don't give anyone jail time. I give them all probation if they're first time or in that area. He says, I give them community service. And when I do that, my rate of them going back or reoffending is less than 28%. On a national average, if you just throw them in jail, people go in, like it's 75% of them end up back in prison for worse crimes and worse things.
Yep.
Whereas if they were taken and put into community service and made a part of something, they feel that they, you know, that they are contributing. It changes their whole mindset. Totally.
Well, that, you know,
Problem in America: too many people that don't need to be in jail are getting sent to jail, and too many people that need to be sent to jail are not in jail.
Yeah, do you
100%.
want to know why? I played golf with a guy, me and my son, and the guy says, "Can I join you?" We're about 3 holes into it. My son's talking to him. He asks my son what he does, and my son looks at me and says, "What do you do?" He says, "Oh, I'm the CFO for the largest private provisions company in the world." He says, "Really?" He says, "Yeah. We only deal with prisons. You know how much they do a year? $4 billion.
Big time
It's a
money.
fucking racket.
Yes.
It's a racket to keep people in there, lock them up, and they just keep money, and it's going right down in everyone's pocket along the way."
Just like the military-industrial complex.
So, all right, before we head down that rabbit hole.
Fuck that. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's
No,
fight.
I got
Steering-
the carrots. Let's do this.
Steering it
Rabbit
back.
holes.
Steering it back. I will say that,
You're in the
and
back
then
seat.
we'll,
You
and then
can't
we'll get
steer
this
anything.
wrapped up because we got to get to Paul and his new coffee thing afterwards. That I always tell people, if you've got the ambition to come over here and walk through the door, I've always got time to talk, right? But
And he's a great hugger too. I
yeah,
just
I
want to
am
tell
a
you
good
that.
hugger. Thank you, Danny. But
I thought I was a great hugger.
Yeah.
we hug. Like, I'm like, man, that dude
But I
loves
will say though that morning when I got into work that day, when
Yeah.
me and you met, there was somebody that was completely passed out.
again.
No, that was that morning,
Whoa.
right?
Okay.
Completely passed out on the front steps.
Yeah.
Some chick on a bike, and she was just nodded out. She was not in good shape, right? And that was kind of that was kind of a depressing way to start the day. But that shit where we freaking just kicked it.
Yeah.
And then you give me a hand with that. I just want to let you know, like, when we're talking about just doing shit for people, that stuck with me.
Yeah.
That stuck with me. I think I've been talking about that since that happened, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Okay, so keep doing what you're doing, my man.
Yes, sir.
If anybody wants to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
They can hit my Instagram, House of Woodbury Arts.
House
love
of
that
Woodbury
name,
Arts.
House of Woodbury.
I love it. I love it.
It really
All
is.
right,
It's
my
cool.
man, I really appreciate you coming in.
For sure, man.
Until next time. Arr!
I was in the park,
You were in the park.
Park.
Park. Okay.
Park.
Yeah.
and there was Jehovah's Witnesses with all the material, right? And I walked up to all, and they got their ties and everything. I says, guys, you know why Italians hate Jehovah's Witnesses?
Why do Italians hate Jehovah's Witnesses?
They hate all witnesses. They went crazy. They were laughing so hard.